How are we doing, everybody? Doing a little episode of JR Takes solo today. Ryan's in Hawaii at the moment, so I figured he's probably unavailable to do a little uh, online episode. Instant reaction. It's not really instant reaction given the fact that it's, Thursday, but I figure I'll give my little takes and spiels on the past wildcard weekend games we had, and then the upcoming games this weekend, which super excited for. Obviously, looking forward to the Bills and the Ravens game the most. I think, honestly, I think the winner of that game is going to the Super Bowl and arguably could win it unless the Detroit Lions have anything to say about it. In my opinion, I think they're really the only ones that can take down an AFC opponent like the Chiefs, like the Ravens, like the Bills. So yeah, well, I guess we'll just dive right into it. We'll go with the first game of last weekend, the Chargers and the Texans. I mean, unfortunately, I can't. I would be doing it injustice if I gave like a full real take on this game because I was working during the Chargers Texans game and the Steelers Ravens game, but luckily we had the game uh, on at work. So we had the Chargers Texans first off, and the Chargers they came out of the gates. They were up 6-0. I mean, I didn't even see if it was a touchdown or two field goals. I believe it was a touchdown, but I could be incorrect. But the game was 6-0 for a while, and I was shocked at. I mean, Justin Herbert. I believe he had the four interceptions, and he just looked not himself, not the way he had been playing all season. And I mean, a lot of these guys, a lot of these analysts have put him in the conversation with Burrow, with Josh Allen, with Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and I really think those conversations have been put to bed after the abysmal performances he's displayed in the playoffs because Justin Herbert has all the tools in the world to be the best quarterback in football. He just when it's time to shine, he just can't seem to get it done. So, uh, congrats to the Texans. They're moving on. Do I think they have a chance against the Chiefs? That's a different conversation. But I'm really looking forward to the matchups this weekend, nonetheless. And then we got the Steelers Ravens. Russ just couldn't get anything going. Derrick Henry ran all over the Steelers. They gave it to him 25 plus times. I think if they just do that every game, I think the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl. Um, but that's only if they stick to that game plan. They have to trust the run, I think. They can't just, they can't just give it to Derrick Henry 8 times and call it quits and throw the rock 40 times. It's not gonna that we've seen that in past playoff games from the Ravens game plan, and it obviously has not gone in their favor. So I think I want the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. I want it to be Lions Bills, but I know that's a fairy tale I, I don't know what the word. It makes me feel like I'm a little kid, hoping my favorite character doesn't die in Game of Thrones, and of course my favorite character is Ned Stark. And that's how I feel about a Bills Lions matchup. That would just be too good to be true. It would be too sweet for all of us football fans after having to deal with the Chiefs over the past 2 seasons, really since Mahomes has entered the league. It's been God, we didn't even get a breath of fresh air in between him and Tom Brady. It was just like they get to play each other, and now we get Mahomes. It's like great. But anyway, getting a little sidetracked here. We were talking, yeah. So I would love it for it to be Bills Lions, but two franchises never winning a Super Bowl. Lions never making it to a Super Bowl. Obviously, the Bills had their catastrophes in the 90s. But that being said, I just think it's got to be the Ravens' year, right? I mean, unless we're witnessing like a Michael Jordan-esque era in the Chiefs and in Mahomes, I think if Mahomes wins this year, obviously that's what we're watching because no team has ever three-peated. And but man, the Ravens with Derrick Henry, I mean, I said it at the beginning of the year. I was not going to let new teams with their fancy whatever new additions sway me from ultimately thinking the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl this year because I still kind of do. I'm, but my argument here is the only way that they won't is if the Ravens just pound the rock with Derrick Henry. And listen, the Bills could beat the Ravens. I'm not saying they're not gonna. I want them to because I mean I'm a Josh Allen fan. I want to see him win his ring at some point in his career, but I kind of also want that for Lamar Jackson too. And I just kind of think this might be the Ravens' year. And I think the Bills are a good team, but I guess if I were to rank Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, I would probably be putting Bills in the three spot, and then it would be essentially a coin flip for the Chiefs and the Ravens. But right now, I just think, man, if you run the ball with Derrick Henry 25 times or more a game, I mean, how do you stop that man? It's just you can't do it. And look, the only team I think has that can do it is the team that's won two Super Bowls back to back years and potentially will win their third. So it's gonna be a spicy matchup. And look, the Chiefs still got to get through Houston. All right, do I think the Houston Texans are gonna go into Kansas City and win in sub-degree temperature? I don't know what the I just know it's gonna be cold as shit. But do I think the Texans are gonna win? Maybe. But I'm 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 gonna be honest. I'm leaning like 80%. I'm gonna go like 80-20. I'll give the Texans a 20% chance just because well, maybe I'll give them okay, we'll go 70-30. How about that? Because the Texans surprised me. I did not think that they were gonna absolutely punch the Chargers in the face and just run away with that game. But and then obviously rounding out the wild card week or weekend for the AFC, we got the Bills Broncos. Bo Nix linking up with I think it was Troy Franklin or maybe it was Cortland Sutton. I can't remember. But score a touchdown early, then um, the Bills go on a 31-0 run. So that game, not a whole lot to say. Clearly a mismatch. But Bills are moving on, playing the Ravens, obviously, like we just talked about. Super excited for that matchup Sunday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then we got the NFC Packers Eagles. This game was kind of sort of how I thought it would go. I mean, it was kind of entertaining a little bit towards the end, but Packers could never really get anything going. The Eagles, I mean, Jordan Love. Jalen Hurts didn't really have to do much for the Eagles to pull out that game. I think the Eagles, man, they're so talented that none of their wins really look that great, but they've just got so many good pieces on their team that it doesn't really matter. I don't know if that's going to catch up with them in the end. They could just keep doing this all the way to the Super Bowl, and we'll see where that takes them. I mean, obviously they beat the Ravens earlier this year, and it was kind of a sound victory. Um, but yeah, I mean, the Eagles, they're playing the Rams. We'll see where that one goes. And then we got the Commanders Bucks. This one was an all-timer. The Commanders pulling it out against Baker and the Bucks. Great season by Baker and the Bucks, but obviously Washington, they got something special in Jaden Daniels, and I did not see that coming at all. I mean, I've really been swinging and missing on my quarterback takes over the past couple seasons. Besides, hey, Bryce Young has really come into his own, and Michael Penix. I mean, we all knew that guy was going to be good. Come on. But Jaden Daniels, I just did not think he was going to be this good. And phew, I mean, I like the Lions I took them to win the Super Bowl, but I don't know, man. This could be that Cinderella team that if they go all the way to the Super Bowl, I mean, based on what I've seen from Jaden Daniels this year and how he just, I mean, he's playing like a veteran quarterback in situations where you would think he would, turn the ball over. And I'm just I'm in awe at what I'm seeing. And after seeing them beat the Bucks, I would not be shocked. I mean, not trying to pull a Micah Parsons here. I don't think the Commanders are going to win, but if they do, look out. It could be a wild one. And then obviously the Vikings, the Rams on Monday night. That one was just what a bummer for the Vikings organization. Winning 14 games as a wild card. I don't know if another team has done that. Certainly haven't done it in the 17 game era. Um, but what a bummer, man. 27-9. Sam Darnold just looked like a shell of himself. Kevin O'Connell just obviously not helping him out. He got sacked 9 times. I was shocked at the lack of running the football. I mean, Cam Akers uh, busted off a couple big runs. Uh, Aaron Jones. So it's a real bummer for the Vikings. The Rams, what a typical Rams game. Just kicking the shit out of record wise the better team. But the Rams are just a grinder. As John Gruden would say, they're a grinder, man. They're my Gruden grinder. But no, the Rams they could be the dark horse. I was bummed about it. I didn't want to believe it, but here we are. So God, what a bummer if it's gonna be Rams Chiefs. Ugh. I don't know if I could watch that. Uh, the color scheme would be kind of cool, but I do hate the Rams jerseys. So I guess never mind. But I guess moving on to the divisional round, Texans Chiefs. I mean, I kind of went over this already. Don't really think the Texans have much of a shot here. But hey, Chiefs haven't played their starters have not played a meaningful game since Christmas Day. That is a long fucking time against the Steelers. That we'll see. And then who do we got next? We got Commanders, Lions. Okay, so these games are on Saturday. So that of course the first game is Texans Chiefs. They're like giving us probably the worst game of the four right off the get-go. Commanders Lions is going to be the Saturday night game. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that one. I'll be at work, unfortunately, so I won't get to give the game my undivided attention. But luckily for me, I will have Sunday off. So, but Lions Commanders kind of already went over this too. That should be a good one. Jared Goff obviously plays good in a dome. Jane Daniels plays good, really, seemingly anywhere. Kind of had a weak stretch during that middle of the season, but he's kind of figured it out from there. And then we got the Rams and the Eagles kicking it off at noon on Sunday. That'll be. I feel like that one's gonna come down to like a field goal or something. Because that one, I think I could see that game being like 6-3 going like at halftime or something like that. Just two, like I think it's supposed to rain and Stafford just does not play good in bad weather, or at least lately. And yeah, that'll be exciting. I could see that. Yeah, that game could be a tooth and nail fought game for whoever wins that one. God, the NFC to it just seems so wide open, but I mean, the Lions they've lost everyone on defense, but they just seem to figure it out every time. I mean, the Minnesota game. I mean, could you tell that anyone was injured? I, so I'm just, yeah, we'll see. That's gonna be God. What coin flips for those two matchups? And then the game we're all waiting for on Sunday night, the Ravens Bills. That one is going to be one for the ages. Um, Kind of already said a lot about. I guess I'll give my predictions. Uh, uh, the Chiefs Texans. I'm gonna say Chiefs win 19-17. Last minute field goal and pisses off everyone in the NFL. Commanders Lions. Look, I could see the Commanders going in and making some noise, but this is the Lions we're talking about here. They won a game earlier against a playoff team with 5 interceptions on the road. Or was it on the road? I don't remember. But nonetheless, they're 15-2 for a reason. This seems like a Cinderella year, or not a Cinderella year, but like a destiny year for them. So I got the Lions. Uh, I'm gonna say 31-27 Lions. And then we got Rams, Eagles. Said 6-3 at halftime. I could see that. I'm gonna go with 23-17 Rams. I think the Rams are just gonna be fucking annoying this year. And I think the Eagles are good, but I don't know, man. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Rams, even though I don't want it. I'm gonna be rooting for the Eagles. I want the Eagles to prove me wrong. It's almost like a reverse effect where I'm taking the Rams just as a worst case scenario. So yeah, I'm gonna say 23-17 Rams over the Eagles. And then we got Ravens, Bills, huh? I'm gonna go with my original pick. Ravens going to the Super Bowl or going to the AFC Championship game. They're gonna win. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like I'm gonna say it's gonna go into overtime. I think it's gonna be one of those classics. And I think it's gonna be 38-35. It's gonna be just an offensive explosion of a night. Um, I'm gonna say the Ravens pull it out because they run the football and there you have it. Your two matchups for the AFC. We got the Chiefs and the Ravens rematch of last season. I think we all know who I took there to win that one, i.e. the Flock gang. And then surprising matchup, we got the Rams and the Lions. Rams replacing my Buccaneers NFC Championship take, which that one's going to be a good one. All-time classic. Got Matty Ice going up against his former team in the Detroit Lions in Detroit. I like those matchups. Well, that was pretty much all I had for this one, guys. That was kind of fun. I haven't done a solo podcast. I might do these more often. I was kind of worried about, the flow of it since Ryan wasn't going to be here, but it's kind of just like, spouting out your opinions nonstop for 10 minutes and and I like to do that. So yeah, this has been fun. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll probably see you next week. All right. Later, guys.